just different than every other kid? Like,
Yeah, it got overwhelming at certain times. And I can say that because at 10 years old, not long after the I want to say it was after the fire, because by the time my mama came home, the house had been rebuilt. This, that, one thing. No, the 10 or 11, I had tried to commit suicide.
You hear that? It's like baby, baby.
I hear you.
Zion.
What up?
Hey, little bro. I already knew I was the real, boy. But you had one, boy. You got one.
That's love right there.
Real, boy. Everybody go through rain tonight. The world gonna feel this one, little bro. You hear that?
Rainy nights gon' come, just be ready. Rainy nights gon' come, just be ready. Rainy nights gon' come, just be ready. Rainy
good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Purpose Over Pain podcast. I'm your host, Harry L. Williams II. I just want to tell you all again and again and again, we thank you all for subscribing and liking the podcast. We ask that you continue to do so. We believe in God to take this podcast to the nation. And so we thank God for all of you all that are actually listening to the podcast, telling other people, sharing it. And we ask that you continue to subscribe, like, and share. But I'm excited. I got my friend in the building, Angela Sykes in the building. Y'all say good morning to Miss Angela Sykes. How you doing? Good morning. I see you got your another gear on. She representing another gear. Listen, remember this podcast is brought to you by another clothing line, luxury clothing line. We thank God for those of you all that's supporting the line. We've been, by the grace of God, it's been going pretty well. So continue to support. But Angela, how you doing this morning?
Doing well, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. That's right.
Doing well.
Good seeing you.
You too.
You're a little nervous.
Always.
No need to be nervous. Ain't nobody gonna hurt you in here. You're in good company. You in good
Oh
company.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm only gonna ask you about maybe about 100 questions. So you know what I mean. You.
Yes, sir.
Well, Angela, tell us a little bit about yourself. Your name, your family, where you from. Just give us a little background.
Absolutely. My name is Angela Robinson Sykes. I'm originally from out east.
Out
My
east. That's right.
family
That's
is
right.
generations of out east. My grandmother's grandfather's house was set right next to St. Matthew's on Franklin Street. Until the city tore it down. Yes, sir. So, my grandfather's house after my grandmother and grandfather divorced was next right behind Miss Mary Lou house, where which was now JEA.
JA building. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. So,
Wow. So
oh.
so let me say this. You passed the out east test because you know what I'm saying. The people listening to the podcast, they listen to see if you really from out east. Because if you don't say out
Out
east,
east.
then they already know you're a fraud and they're gonna shut down.
Oh
So you
yes.
passed the out east test, man.
Yes.
So yeah. So I thank God for you.
Thank you.
As
Privilege.
always, every guest we have, I think that we always have amazing people that come in, share with us. And I believe God, this would be one of those times as well. So I thank you for coming. And I always start this out. The name of the podcast, Purpose Over Pain, over pain. So I ask this question to everybody. Hear that phrase, purpose over pain. What does that mean?
Purpose over pain. That phrase means to me is that God has allowed the suffering and the experiences and the circumstances that I've been through to assist me in um utilize that as a tool in order to draw people to the kingdom.
Oh wow, wow. Hey, listen, I think that's the most educated answer. I like that. I like that. To draw people to the kingdom. I think, man. And now let me say this before I get started. We're gonna give a shout out to Sharon Rogers, who was very instrumental.
Amen.
Amen. So we want to give a plug out to Sister Sharon Rogers, who Actually, we'll be talking about talk about her book that she wrote. You came highly recommended.
Praise the Lord.
Not saying I wasn't gonna get to you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying I wasn't gonna get to you, but I think she mentioned it to my wife, and she mentioned it as well about you coming on the show, and they thought that you would be a good person to come and sit down and talk to us. Once again, Sister Sharon, thank you. Angela, she'll pay you later. She'll pay you later after she blew up. After she get all these people calling and saying, "We need you to come talk to us. Come talk to us. We need you to come share." And so she'll pay you later. But thank you for coming.
Amen. Thank you.
And so now, speaking of purpose over pain, is there anything that that jumps out at you that we can just talk about? As far as pain and you're going through it. Anything that you want to share with the audience? I think that'll be a blessing. Any painful?
I've been through several painful moments in these last 50 years.
Yeah, 50. You 50 years old?
I'll be 50 in May.
You're a baby, man. I thought you was in your 40s. You're a baby. We gotta check your Splash. We gotta check her ID when she leave. We checking your ID when you leave here.
No problem.
Yeah. You say you how old? 50?
I'll be 50.
You'll be 50.
May 13th.
Okay.
May 13th.
Okay,
I'll be
man.
50 years old.
All right.
I've been, I'm from the hood. I've been through hood stuff.
Hood stuff.
My parents went through addiction. My parents have been through mental illness.
Wow.
I grew up in the church, but I've been through church hurt. I love the Lord, but His people ain't always right.
Yeah, no
Praise
doubt.
the Lord.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And we're gonna jump on that in a little bit, but I mean later on. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it.
I got married young. Well, not real young, but like 25. I was in my mid 20s.
Young, 25.
So, yes, sir.
Real.
I didn't marry who God ordained me to marry, and it's been a struggle. We're still together even though we're separated.
Okay.
So it's been a struggle. So there's another pain I've
Painful
been
moment.
through. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But let me before you move forward, let me jump on your parents. You saying that your parents were they had addiction,
Yes, sir.
right? So when you were younger, do you have like memories of that?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
I have very
Very vivid
vivid
memories.
memories.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Very vivid memories.
Did how did you think your parents going through that? How did it affect you when you were younger? Coming
Oh, tremendously.
really?
Tremendously. My mom didn't. Her addiction didn't come along until after she had a breakdown.
Okay.
The police brought her home one night, say someone had laced her drink
Wow.
with PCP, and they found her basically doing what Chris Tucker was doing on Friday.
Wow.
So they brought her home, and she became more stable, but she was always in and out for the rest of her life.
Wow.
The addiction came as a matriculation of the breakdown.
Okay.
I've been through. My mama was always my mama. She was always a great mama when she was in her right mind. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. She was a wonderful mama. She was a counselor. She was a friend. She was a mentor and encourager. So even through her struggles, she was one of the best mentors I ever had.
Wow.
So my mama always told me stuff. I might not know how to read, but my mama wasn't a strong reader, but she taught me how to read. And she used simple things like pH. People know pH makes the F sound. She used stuff like riding the city bus to teach me that Phoenix Avenue,
Wow.
and just simple stuff like that. And it has carried on about relationships, and not necessarily like with men and women, but relationships in general.
Yeah, how to deal with people.
How to deal with people.
Were you the now siblings? How many siblings that you have?
My mother
Have-
has 2 children,
Okay.
myself, and I have a sister that's 6 years younger than me.
Okay. But in the house, how many siblings were
Just
there?
us two.
Just y'all two.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Just
So
us
so
two.
she was younger than you, older?
She's younger than me by 6 years.
Oh, she's okay then.
Yes, sir.
So
She
you was the
acts
big
like
sister.
the older
She act
sister,
like the
so
older sister.
I had to catch myself. But she's younger than me by 6 years.
Wow.
My sister was actually like 6 months old, I think, when my mama had her breakdown
Wow.
when she had the accident. So it was just the first 6 years of my life were like bright and bubbly. I went through some other things, but I didn't even realize that I had went through those things until later on in life, and God brought it to my remembrance,
Wow.
or trauma brought it to my remembrance.
Wow.
So, but
So it took trauma to bring that
back
back.
to,
Wow.
yes, sir,
Wow.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So, again, even with my mama's struggles and her addictions, we went through the same thing that other people went through with addiction. Sometimes we didn't have any lights, stuff like that. However, the addiction, in addition to the mental illness, was a major weight on me, especially after once my sister got up in age, she wasn't a baby no more. I had, thank the Lord. Let me back up. Thank the Lord. By the time my mama had her mental illness, I already knew how to cook. I already knew how to pay bills and
Wow.
and stuff
You was
like that. I
grown.
knew
You was
the
going grown
my
people
mama.
stuff.
Yeah, my mama taught me that because I believe God put it in her that at some point she wasn't going to be able to do that. So it was like from a baby, my mama was teaching me
Training.
certain things.
Training.
I don't ever remember not knowing how to read,
Oh wow.
stuff like that.
Wow.
My mom said I learned how to swim before I learned how to walk.
Wow.
So
So let me ask you this. So I hear you mention mental illness. So was it labeled mental illness then? Was that a conversation then?
no,
Okay then.
no,
All right.
sir.
It wasn't until later.
No, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir. Even from the professional point of view,
mhm.
like dealing with the police officers and um dealing with the family and the community really didn't know about it for a long time, but the family didn't know about it for a long time because I hadn't. It just stayed in the house
Okay.
for years. You know, my grandmama had a suspicion or whatever, but for the most part, until I was like 10 years old, it started when I was like 6 till I was 10.
Wow.
Nobody
So she
really
pretty
knew.
much was functioning until she had an episode. Was she ever? Was she?
She was functioning.
Okay. Okay.
She was functioning to a certain degree.
Okay.
But she was never able to like go back to work.
Okay.
You know,
So I can.
before the event, she was working 3 jobs.
Oh wow.
After the event, she
She couldn't
wasn't
work anymore.
capable of working. You
So a lot
know.
of pressure was on you. I would imagine being the
Oh
oldest
yes,
kid.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
So just to expedite things, by the time I was 10 years old, my mother was on her way to prison for the second time. You know, she did 3 bids of like maybe 2.5 to 3 years each time she went. So that's like 9 years, and she died when I was 26.
Wow.
So yes, sir, she died when I was 26. So
Wow.
9 out of those 26 years, my mama was in prison.
So when your mom would go to prison, what would happen to you all? Who
We
would you?
we would normally be with my grandmother.
Your grandmother. Okay.
My
then.
grandmother.
Okay then.
Yes,
All right.
sir. After I had my daughter at 14, so after I had my
You had a daughter
daughter,
at 14.
yes, sir.
Oh wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I
You
had
know
a
we gotta
daughter
talk
at
about
14.
that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know we going to that.
I had my first child at 14, and after well, no, right before we started staying at my grandmother. I think when I was in the 5th grade,
Okay.
5th or 6th grade, my mama set the house on fire, and we moved in.
You had a lot
with my
going on. You
grandma.
had a lot
I
of moving
told.
parts.
My mama set the house on fire when I was in like 5th grade. I
She
think 5th or
just
6th grade.
her mind just told her to set the house
She
on fire.
got up one night, said, "Aunt I'll be right back." She came back with the kerosene, and she poured the kerosene down the hallway. You know, we had them
Yeah.
shotgun house gas heater right here when you walk in the door. She poured the kerosene down there, closed the doors with me and my sister on this side, and lit it.
Did it.
Some just told her light
Wow.
burn
Burn the house down.
with us in it.
With y'all in.
All through
Her
her,
included.
yes,
Her
yes,
included.
yes.
Wow. Wow.
My neighbor, Julio, used to stay next door to us, saved our lives. He heard us screaming. I
Shout out to
didn't.
Mr. Julio if he's still
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I didn't know this until recently. My little sister was talking about it. We had never actually talked about it till like this year,
Wow.
within the past 6 months. And she was saying that I passed out as I was trying to pull. You know, we had the wood things over the door,
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
windows back
yeah,
then.
that's right.
I was screaming, but I passed out. They say I was in. I might have been in a coma 3 weeks, maybe. I'm
Oh,
not
wow.
sure. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Remember the exact day. She couldn't remember exactly how long it was either. She told me to go pull my hospital records. She could be mean like that
Yeah,
sometimes.
she said, pull the records and find out.
Yeah, to be.
So did
But
anything happen to her? Did she go to jail?
oh yeah, she did. That was
for
one of those
That
three
was one.
beds.
Okay,
Yes,
one
sir.
of
That
those
was
three
the
beds.
second out of three beds. The first time she went to prison, she threw potash in my daddy's face.
Oh man,
So
potash.
yeah,
Oh, man.
so
That
I
was
watched my
popular.
daddy.
That was popular back
Yeah,
then.
I watched my daddy's face melt,
Wow.
skin melt off my daddy's face. You could see the bone, his jawbone
Wow.
and stuff when that happened.
And so and this was how
I
old?
was like in the third grade at that
Wow.
time, second
Wow.
grade, second or third grade.
So
Someone was.
how did this, like all this going on in y'all house? How was it? Went to school.
I tried to maintain as much as I possibly could. I've always been an honest student, a good student. I ain't always been like behavioral wise student.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was
my
asking.
my good grades, I didn't really get like, I wasn't malicious, but I would get in trouble for the people that I was hanging out with,
okay.
associated with. I've always been like the good girl of the group, even though I was with the
Yeah,
wrong
your own
group,
person. Yeah.
so to speak. So,
You's a good thug.
yeah, yes, sir. They'll be doing something malicious, and just because I'm with them, I'm gonna get in trouble too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
one time we was in the bathroom, Miss Beats, third grade, Corrine Scott. They standing on the toilet, throwing stuff across the toilet. So they come out, I go in, I'm throwing stuff at them. We all get in trouble. Yeah. So stuff like that.
So
But
was school an escape?
yes, it was a
Yeah,
refuge.
it was
Sometimes
yeah.
it was the only meals that we had.
Wow.
You know, and they used to take fruit and stuff home, make sure my sister had something to eat for a while.
Wow.
You know, so yes, sir.
So you
School
look
was
forward.
my outlook.
That was your outlet.
Yes, sir. I always like learning too. So and I traveled through books.
Okay.
So yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
I traveled through books. Yes,
Really?
sir.
You got some book writing in you. You traveled-
I traveled through books. I love like I used to go to the library just to read, just to stand up and read Atlas. Remember when the Atlas used to be on the podium?
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, so I used to go up there and just stand at the podium, and I could basically tell you certain countries. I know them just by looking at them on the map. I
Wow.
feel like I'd already been there, so to speak, certain places.
So you was a dreamer, pretty much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
you was a
sir.
dreamer.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of times, when people go through a lot of traumatic stuff in childhood life, that's their way of escape.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when you would go to school and come home, were there any type of like anxieties and going home thinking like, what's gonna happen today?
Not at the time.
Not at the time.
Not at
Okay.
the time,
All right.
because it was my normal life.
Your normal
Trauma
life.
was just my normal life.
Wow.
You know, it's just a custom.
Was it embarrassing well, you did say that the neighbors, everybody didn't really know
At that time, they didn't know. By the time I got to the sixth grade, once Mama set the house on fire, then
the news.
the news was definitely out by then. But even now, when I talk to people that know Mama, they still didn't know my mama was getting high or none. They were like, "What, for real?" I was like, "Yeah, you know, my mama went to prison. I think that second time when my mama came home." My mama came home on a Thursday. She cashed her check, because you know back then they could hold on to your Social Security checks.
Wow.
My auntie kept her checks while she was gone. Came to like $10,000. My mom had $10,000 on Thursday, and Monday morning she was dead broke.
Oh man.
Monday morning she was dead broke.
They was happy to see her.
Yeah,
when she came home.
a lot of our Florida Avenue boys came up.
Came up. Oh yeah. She had 10,000 on Friday, and Monday it was gone.
She was gone. It was gone.
Oh man. So
Almost.
when your mother came out, what the third time?
The third time she went to the first time she went to prison for hurting my daddy. The second time she went to prison for burning the house. The third time she her episode, she said that the man that she used to like clean up something sometimes. She said the man attacked her or something to that nature. And anyway, she ended up going to the prison again because he was, number one, he was an elder man, and number two, it was so severe.
Yeah.
So
Wow. And you were how old this time?
We were already living with my grandmother, so I would say I was about 12 by then.
Okay. Okay. So and how was that with
13 by
your
then.
how was that with your grandmother? I mean, how was it when you got to your grandmother? Was your grandmother a did she try to, because sometimes when stuff go through kids, the other family members, they try to compensate for the bad stuff happening to them and a little
Oh no, I think it was just the
it was
opposite.
the opposite.
It was just the
Wow.
opposite.
Okay.
My grandmother had already been through a lot of trauma. My uncle David, I don't know if you remember this, but my uncle David was the first veteran in Florida to be electrocuted. So I've literally been going to the prisons all my life because he went to prison the year before I was born.
Really?
So he died when I was 10. Something about this 10 years old thing. My uncle died the year that I turned 10. He was electrocuted.
You were going to see him.
We were going, yeah,
Wow.
I've been to death row.
Oh wow.
So when Green Mile came out, I say that's how it is for
That's
real.
how it is for real.
That's
Wow.
how it is for real.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
And so
Yes, sir.
do you remember like when all this stuff was going on, do you remember some of the thoughts like going through your head? I mean, did you feel like that you were just different than every other kid?
Yeah, it got overwhelming at certain times. And I can say that because at 10 years old, not long after after the I want to say it was after the fire, because by the time my mama came home, the house had been rebuilt. This, that, one thing. No, the 10 or 11, I had tried to commit suicide.
Evan.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was after the fire. By the time my mama came home, he had done rebuilt the house. And we was back with my mama, and it just got worse from there, and I just couldn't take it no more. I was missing what I consider a lot of days from school. I was trying to take care of my sister, and my mama was just out there at that time.
So a lot of pressure was on you.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So was there anything was there anything that triggered you to say, okay, then, hey, this is what I want to do? You know what I mean? Did it come out of nowhere, or did you have thoughts of committing suicide before then, or it just
No, it just came. It
Wow.
just it wasn't the thought. The thought was never there because again, my mama instilled a lot of confidence, and by me being raised in the church, that's something that I wouldn't have never even thought of. But at that particular moment, I felt like I would be better off with the Lord.
Wow. Wow.
So
So y'all were going to church. How was your mother at church?
my
How
mama
was
loved the Lord.
She
My
loved
mama loved the Lord.
And so
She
how
prayed.
was she perceived at church? Was she,
But by the time she got to her point where it was showing in public and everything, everybody got to the point where, oh, that's Donna. We know Donna gonna do certain things. My mom was the type.
Donna, and your mama named Donna what?
Donna Marie Funches.
Okay, Donna. Okay,
Donna Marie Funches.
Okay,
My mama
all right.
Funches.
Okay.
She the baby.
Funches. All
Yes,
right.
sir. So everybody, my mama was like, when her mind was gone, you might be standing here talking to her 1 minute, and then she switch out, and she might just go taking off her clothes and
Wow.
and be like, oh, Miss Donna, come on, you got to
Miss
get
Donna,
yourself
come on,
together.
ease up, Miss
Yeah,
Donna.
but so again, she might snap, and I got scars. I done been cut and stabbed, so
Wow.
trying to
Wow.
help her.
Wow, trying to help her.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, that's a lot for any young child to have to deal with all of that, and just fight through it, and just the mental stuff, the mental strain.
Yes, sir.
So when you tried to commit suicide, what did you actually try to do?
I took some of my mama medicines. The
Okay.
doctor said I didn't actually OD. I had an allergic reaction to the medicines that
Wow.
I took.
Wow.
I took she had 3 bottles of medicines. She always said that the hospital medicine, the pharmaceutical medicines was way better than the street drugs.
Yeah.
So she never took this. She said unless she was out of the street drugs, she say the pharmaceutical.
pharma-
Yeah, that's
Oh, wow.
that's
Yeah,
her little thing.
that was her thing, huh?
So she always had a cabinet full of
Wow.
medicine.
Wow.
So
Just say, hey, I want to just go be with the Lord.
yeah,
Wow.
I was wore out by then.
Wow. So what happened? Who found you? Did you pass out? What happened?
I don't know,
You
Pastor.
don't remember?
I don't
Really?
remember.
You remember?
I
So
remember. I want to say my sister,
okay,
because it was mainly just me and my sister. Um, I remember my mama blaming me for us being taken after that.
okay. Because
So
you always taking out.
after that, I went back home after that, but I called my auntie worked for the state back then, and I called my auntie and told her to come get us. I was tired.
Tired.
I was tired. I couldn't take it no
You're
more.
tired of being a grown up as a child,
I was
basically.
tired.
Wow.
And
Wow.
they came and
Damn, I
came
got
and
you.
got us. They moved us in with my grandma. I started staying with my grandma on a full time basis.
So during the time you were staying with your grandmother, did you were you all having any kind of communication with your mother at the time or no?
Yeah, we always kept in
Okay.
communication. My grandmother has an open policy. She's not gonna turn her back on you because of your circumstances, situations,
Yeah,
or anything like
that's how
that.
grandmothers was back
So
then.
and that's something that for the most part my family has inherited that blessing.
Yeah.
That we have open door policy. You
Gonna
come, you're
stand
gonna
by
get
you.
fed. You're gonna
Yeah.
get fed, and I picked up on that too.
Oh yeah, that's good.
You, I don't. That's my strength and that's my
Yeah.
weakness. That's my strength and that's my
Yeah.
weakness.
Yeah. Just knowing how to balance it out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So so now you with your grandmother, and so now how are things going now? Are you getting into your rhythm as a teenager, or how are
Oh
things
no, the
progressing?
transition was not good at
It wasn't.
all because um at my mother's house, I'm not gonna say that I did what I wanted to do, but my mama had more because I was so responsible. My mama gave me more leeway,
Yeah.
so as long as I didn't go past Union Street, I could stay out at the house till 12 o'clock. I did
Yeah.
my homework was done, the house was done. Yeah, I could hang out, and chill. I went, um, but when I got to my grandmama house, it was like I had to go from being a grown up to being
Back
a
to
being a child. I
yeah.
didn't realize that then,
Then
but I
yeah, yeah.
see it
Yeah, you say
now.
it now. Yeah, yeah.
And the transition didn't go well. On top of the fight, my my uncle was gone. He died in prison. My mama was in prison. My auntie was on the way to prison. Oh, I got to back up. We did. We went to go stay with my auntie, Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, so
then
that God, Mama
we wasn't
Queen.
there. Yeah, we wasn't there long. I came home from school. I had just got transitioned from out east, going to school out east, going to school on the north side. Came home one day and it was chaotic.
Yeah, yeah.
Police, everything was there. So that's how we ended up staying with my grandmama.
Okay.
Cause my mama, Queen was my mama favorite.
Yeah.
My mom, I had mama,
Love Queen.
my mama loved Queens.
Wow. Wow.
So, that's how we ended up staying with Queen. But after Queen went to prison, then we ended up with my grandmama, and we moved to Picketville, Dinsmore. It's called, we
Mm-hmm.
black folk call it Picketville, but it's actually
Dismal.
Dinsmore. Yes, sir. We moved to Dinsmore. Um, and
So your grandmama got more rules, right? Can't be you can't be do all the stuff you used to do, right? So how did that relationship with your grandmother did that beef with your grandmother or for lack of a better word, what did that transition?
that beef, the word beef would be a
That's
good.
appropriate.
That's
That's
a good.
appropriate.
That's a good. Okay,
Because
so
when you young, anytime when you young, and you've had a taste of certain things, and then someone tries to come and put restraints. You know what I mean? That's
hmm
automatically gonna be
hmm my I didn't have I didn't get in trouble for doing certain things. It was more like my mouth and my attitude, I guess the negativity.
yeah,
So my little sister would be doing she'll pull my perfume out. Or she'll use our perfume and fill the bottle with alcohol. Well, as I'm fussing at her, my grandmama gonna hit me across the head.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
But my grandmama push hogs for a living. So my
So
grandmama
they ain't
push
no yeah,
500
yeah,
pounds for
yeah,
a
yeah.
living.
So they ain't no little hit.
They ain't no little
That's
hit.
abuse.
Yes.
I'm calling them people on
So
you.
that we went through that for like a year or two. Even through my pregnancy, I got hit across the bite one time with
Oh,
with
no,
a with
you skip that. You skip that. You skip that. We're gonna take a break real quick. I got to come back to that. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back. Purpose Over Pain podcast. Hey, listen, this is Purpose Over Pain podcast once again. We want to thank you all for liking, subscribing, just making Purpose Over Podcast famous, y'all. We famous to God be the glory. But anyway, listen, remember, we always want to support our friends that's doing things. And this is, for those of y'all that don't know, this is another brother from out east, Joseph Chappelle Gresham. Joseph Gresham Chappelle. This is his book that he wrote, Life in the Times of the Real Billy Ray Valentine's. Go and check that out on Amazon, on all of the sites. Also, we have a book here called Spare. This is by another East Sider minister, Troy Major. This is a great book. Make sure y'all go and support him. And we got a book here. Also, this is Sharon by way of she out Easter now, but she by way of New York. She's one of our members. And make sure you go check out Hannah's Secrets in Savannah by Sharon Griffin Rogers. And last but not least, make sure you go and check out my book on Amazon. Go check it out, Bless One, and also Blessed. We thank you for supporting us, man. I mean, we can't do what we're doing without the support of everybody, man. So we just thank God for you. If you have anything, any book that you've written, you want to be a part of this podcast, make sure y'all reach out to us. Purpose Over Pain podcast. Make sure it's Gmail. Also go to Spotify. We're on Spotify, Purpose Over Pain. You can also go to the YouTube page, HLW2. And make sure you like and subscribe. Please subscribe so we can let you all know everything that's going on with the podcast. We back in the building. We back in the building with Angela. Listen, hey, listen. You. We were talking and you skipped over. We went from you and your grandma having beef, and then you said, "And I was pregnant." You know what I mean, so we got to reverse that. We got to reverse that thing and talk about that. You skipped over that. You know what I mean? You skipped over that. So the pregnancy. Tell me how this happened. How the pregnancy? What's going on? I thought your grandmama was keeping her tight. I thought she was keeping her
she
tight.
was, but at the same time, you know, by the time I was 12 years old, I'm put it like this.
Grandmama was sleeping too much.
I started having my cycle and got pregnant the same year.
Oh wow.
The same year.
Double whammy.
Yes, sir. The
Wow.
same year.
Wow.
So I've always had bladder issues, and I went to the doctor to see about my bladder, and they was like, okay, you have some issues, and we're gonna need your grandmama to come to, because I used to be able to go to the doctor by myself because we was going right here in the neighborhood
Okay.
to either the clinic on 11th Street
Yeah.
or to the bridge back then. So
So you was going to the doctor by yourself?
yes, sir.
Okay.
And they told me that I had to bring my parents in, my grandmama in. They knew my situation with my mama. That's why they was letting me
Okay.
come by myself, because I was having health. I always had health issues. So they told grandmama I was pregnant, and they was getting ready to mention the options of grandmama. My grandson ain't no option.
Ain't
She
no option.
having it.
She
Ain't no
having it.
option but that. So that was it.
Did you? Let me say. So did your grandmama know about the young man where you was you was
It wasn't
sneaking?
no, I wasn't
You-
no one. I had a boyfriend, but
You had
my
a boy-
boyfriend was my age, 16. Well, he wasn't my age, but he was closer in my age.
Okay.
I got in trouble. We went to a party the night before, and I had all the liquor and the miniatures and all that stuff in my pocket. Mind you, I don't drink.
Yeah.
But I always was the designated driver. I
Yeah,
held
yeah.
everything. That was what I did when we was growing up.
Yeah.
Again, I was
So
a
you held
good
the
I was
bag.
the good
Yeah,
girl.
but you
Yeah, I
held the
had the
bag.
bag. I was the good girl, but I hung with the wrong people.
Yeah.
So I got to school the next day, and I was like, "Oh, dog, I got these two. I had 2 or 3 miniatures still, and I got ready to throw them away." And I ain't gonna call his name
Yeah,
because I'm still mad with him
You
to this
still mad.
day. It was like, what you gonna do with them? I was like, oh no. So they gave me $10 a piece. I was like, that's a good come
That's
up.
a good come
Ministers
up.
wasn't but
Yeah.
$1 back then. $1.75
You'll
back
start
then.
moonshining there. $10. I got $10 for this.
So they got, long story short, they got caught with the liquor. I didn't get caught with the liquor.
Yeah.
They got caught with the liquor and told who sold it to them.
Oh man.
So I got suspended from school, and so I called. My boyfriend was one of the only people in middle school with a car. But he said, "Well, my car in the shop.
Yeah.
Call such and such. I ain't gonna call no names. Call such and such, which is his next door neighbor. All us stayed on the same street.
Yeah.
To come and get you, and I'll meet y'all at the house. This, that, one thing, and another." So that's what I did. I called him. He came and got me. Mind you, let's back up. This the man that's been stalking me the whole time for a long time that I was going to the bus stop every morning. I had been avoiding him, and I didn't realize that the man that was stalking me in the morning was the same person that was kind of hanging out with the group of people that I was hanging out. Because in the morning he had on construction clothes on the
I
way
was
to
gonna say,
work.
how you didn't realize that? So,
The morning clothes he had on because he had several vehicles.
Okay,
In the
okay.
morning time he got on construction clothes going to work, and in the afternoon, you know, he the boss.
he the boss. He the boss.
In the evening time, he the
plug.
boss.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, as the boss, and when I see him in the evening time, he with my friend, you know, one of the people that I knew from how these had to move out there too. So we hanging together. That's what made us bond and all that stuff like that. He would always, when we go places, whatever, he would always treat. And my friend was saying, "Oh, he like it, this, or one thing, another. That's fine. Then this, that, one thing, another." Okay, so back to the day that I got suspended from school when he came to get me, my boyfriend wasn't home.
In place.
He ended up going to jail. So it was like but we didn't know that at the time. So I was there. So make a long story short, I ended up getting molested.
By the boss.
By the dude that came to pick me up. And I got pregnant that day.
Wow.
So I got pregnant that day, and I
Did you
don't
tell anybody that?
No, I didn't tell anybody that I was molested because I felt like I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I didn't really know that it was molestation at the time. It was later on.
Yeah.
Number one, because he did literally pry my legs open. So, that's number one. Number two, gonna find out. He was talking to my mama when my mama came home. I think while I was pregnant or something like that. He was talking to my mama. Come to find out, he wasn't even our age. He told my mama he was 21. Come to find out, he was like 29 at the time. I was 13 when I got pregnant.
Wow.
So, all of that.
He was 29. You was 13.
Yes, sir.
So when you go to that's why you gotta watch your kids, man. Watch your kids around. When you go to the doctor, they tell you, you tell your grandmother pregnant. Say, hey, ain't no abortions, ain't nothing. She had a baby, right? At that moment, did she ask you who was the baby daddy?
No.
Never asked you. Wow.
That conversation, I don't think that conversation didn't come up until after my daughter was born. Because my grandmama beat me several times while I was pregnant. After I was pregnant, to the point where one day we was in church, and when she slapped me, I hit her back.
Wow.
So at that point, I was sent to what is Daniel? San Diego Road out there.
Oh, San Diego. I thought she was talking about Darnell Cookman.
Oh no! I went to Donnell Cookman while I was pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there the whole time. I went to Donnell Cookman for them 20 days.
Okay.
For the alcohol.
For the alcohol.
I went back to school, but the time I went back to school, when I went back for my checkup, that's when I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
When I went for my physical, for my bladder and all that stuff, that's when I found out I was pregnant. And so I ended up going. They said back then you couldn't stay in school when you was pregnant.
Yeah.
You had to go.
You
had to go to Donnell Cookman.
Yeah.
So
which I mean, I think it was good.
Me too.
Me too. I think that it was good. Just so other younger women won't think that's popular.
Right. That's the number one reason. Yeah. And it helped develop me character wise. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot about, how to self-help at that point. That was like the first help that I had with my trauma.
Wow.
Was there. was
Wow.
at Darnell
Was
Cookman.
that down there?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, and I hear you say, I got to go back to this. You say you was in church and you slapped your grandma.
No, she slapped me,
She slapped
and I
you,
hit her
and you
back
hit her back.
for the yeah.
Wow,
I hit her
wow.
back,
Man, how was
and
that? How was that? I mean,
oh, it
how
was
did
hard.
people how did people
Oh, my
react
auntie
to that?
told me if you ever lay your hands on my mom again, I'll kill you. So
Wow, wow. So it was pretty
yeah, so
intense. It
yeah,
was pretty
yeah,
intense.
it was pretty
Wow.
intense.
And so when you did that, they removed you from the house.
Yes,
Oh wow.
yes. I ended up going to Daniel.
Leaving your little sister
Yes,
Leaving
leaving
your
my
little
sister and my baby.
and your baby
And my
and your
baby.
baby.
And my baby. Because I
Wow,
had to have my baby by then.
wow.
So
So you had to leave your baby with your grandmother. Oh
yes.
wow,
Yes.
wow. Okay,
Yes.
okay,
By the time I came back, we were living with my aunt
okay.
by then. From Daniel, I went to DDC in Daytona because being by then I was hard and
Yeah. Angry,
we got
angry,
angry. We got
angry.
ready to go shopping one time, and the lady, she talking about I couldn't get my money. Wait a minute, what you mean I can't get my money? When I came in the door, I had $500. Melissa,
Yeah,
I had my
yeah,
little hustle money
yeah.
from
Just little
holding the
hustle mouth.
bags and all that
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like
You was
that.
the, you
So
was the liquor lady.
so, what you mean? We going shopping? I can't get my money. I got to be, even though I'm locked up, I still want to be
See,
fly.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, I ended up getting in trouble, and they shit. I rode hog tied all the way to Daytona. That's a long ride,
Wow.
hog tied.
Yeah, sure is. All the way to Daytona. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh,
That's a long ride, hog tied in the back of the car
yeah.
because I want
So
to show
did
out.
did you become a fighter then? Because you angry. Number one. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff had gone on. So did you have a quick temper? Did anything set you off?
I'm not gonna say I had a quick temper. I wasn't a fighter. I mean, unless I felt threatened for the most part. And even with that incident, I wasn't. Um, I wouldn't say I was a fight. I didn't fight a lot. Not like my friends was.
Okay. Okay.
My they was fighting every day. Every day on the way to Gilbert,
Yeah.
every day on the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
on the
yeah.
way to Aura Brown, they was fighting. So I wouldn't say that I was fighting. I wouldn't say that at that point. Um, now that I look back, I would say yeah, I kind of was. I would have been angry, but at that time, no, sir.
No.
I
Okay.
was still trying to process. Okay, um, I could do better than this. I know this not my life. This is not it. I'm going through this, but this is not the end.
Wow.
I was still trying to tell myself that at that particular point.
Wow.
I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's one of my favorite scriptures. I
Wow.
can do all things through Christ. I can get through this. I can get through these beatings. I can get through them telling me I ain't nothing. You know, all of that.
Wow.
And that's the word really kept me even though I didn't necessarily understand
You
it
understand?
to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
The word kept me.
Yeah, and that's amazing that you said that. And as you was talking, I was thinking about the foundation that you had. No matter how crazy the house situation was, that you were in church.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then, because Scripture says faith come by hearing, and
Hearing
hearing
by
the word of God.
Yes.
And I think that by you being around church, it was something that was put inside of you that you still had hope.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
And hope can make it keep on going on, even in
Amen.
the midst
Amen.
of traumatic situations.
Yes, sir.
And so, because for you to say that I had gone through all of this, saw my mama, things wasn't going good with my grandmother. I got raped, because that's really what it was.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And then for you still not to be like angry, because most people, that's why a lot of kids fight. You know what I mean? They go through stuff because
sir.
they feel like that's all they have.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I mean? And so for you to say, I went through all of this and I still knew that somehow I was going to come out of this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's how it was.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
And so now you get now you get back, you get reconnected with your daughter. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you how old at this time?
I was only in Daytona, I think 6 months, 5-6 months.
So you still was pretty young.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So take me from there.
I transitioned back to Jacksonville. It was time for school to start. When I got back to Jacksonville, I went from When I left Jacksonville, I was still at Donald Cookman, I think. When I got back to Jacksonville, I ended up going to Northwestern. I was only there like 2 semesters, and it was time for the summer. Then I ended up at. I wanted to go to Wolfson, but by me being on the swim team, I had to be to practice at 7, so that means I had to leave home like 5:30. This, that, one thing, another. My auntie said that was too much for me
Yeah,
with the baby and all
of
that.
course.
Trying to.
And you still was a good student.
Yes, sir. I've
Oh
always
wow,
been a good student.
wow,
Yes, sir.
wow. So you,
So
so you managed it.
yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And you was what age? What, 15,
15
16?
at this
Oh
time. I'm
wow.
15 at this time. So I end at 3, maybe a month with into school. Because by the time I got up in the morning, left home, I didn't get home till like by the time the bus dropped me off at night, it was like 8:30, 9
Oh wow.
o'clock.
Oh, it's time to go to sleep.
Yes, sir, because of the commute.
Yeah.
So she made me. I switched to Reigns, and I stayed at Reigns till I graduated. Proud by nature, Viking by
Viking.
choice. It's
Shout
your
out to
bond.
Rain,
It's your
Viking. Shout out to
bond.
you.
It's your bond. It's your bond. And in college, I wrote a paper. The best years of my life
Oh
been
wow.
at William M. Raines High
Wow.
School.
Wow. Wow.
I think I have some lifelong friends. My mentors, my teachers. I had a very, very, very wonderful support group.
Really.
When I was at Raines.
So I heard you say earlier. You said that you got married young.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How was you were when you got married?
My boys. I want to say. Let me put it like this. I got married in 2008,
Okay. All right.
but I had already known my husband since 98,
Okay. Wow.
97,
Okay.
something like that.
Wow.
When we started dating.
Wow.
So I had already known.
Was it feel like natural progression just for me to marry him because I've been knowing him for a long time?
Oh no, it was a shotgun wedding.
It was a shotgun.
It was a shotgun wedding because I didn't love my husband. He knew I didn't love him, but he didn't want me to be with nobody else.
I said I take it just like that.
No, he would be, we going to get married because I don't want you with nobody else.
Yeah.
So, but I told him, listen, you got to love me in order to marry me. Because if you don't love me and I don't love you, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
It got to be some love somewhere
Gotta be
for it
some
to
love
work.
somewhere.
So, it was I'm a dreamer, and I had a dream that I was abused. So the person that I was in love with, I thought that was gonna be who abused me.
Wow.
So that's why I went ahead and agreed to marry my husband because I thought the person that I was in love with, he had already asked me to marry him. I told him no because I had that dream. I thought it was going. God never showed me who abused me.
Wow.
I just saw the abuse.
Wow.
And I
That's
thought it was
crazy.
gonna be him. Number one, he was the street dude. He was the one. He was everything that fit into an abuse situation. And my husband was just the opposite. My husband came from a solid background. He was military. He had a good job. All that stuff like that, and he
Good
was
pension.
portraying the role of being that man.
Mhm.
And it didn't work out that way.
How long were you all married?
We still married.
Oh, y'all still married? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I got married in 2008, and I've been separated since June 30th of 2010.
Wow. I've been separated for a little minute.
Yeah.
So y'all had kids because I heard you say something about your boys. So how many?
I have 7 children
Got 7
altogether.
kids.
I
Wow.
had 3 before I got married, 4 after I got
Oh,
married.
so we missed a lot of stuff then.
Yes, sir. The children is probably a whole nother episode.
We got a part 2. We got a part 2. I missed a whole lot of
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
7 kids. Wow.
7
And your
children.
youngest is how old?
My baby's 14.
Okay.
That's
baby's
Christian.
14. Okay.
Yes,
Christian.
sir. That's
Christian
Christian
is the
baby.
youngest.
Yes,
wow.
sir.
14 years old. Wow. So now I heard a couple of things that you said. You went to high school, and then after high school, you said that you ended up going to school.
Yes.
Oh,
I went
wow.
to Edward Waters
And
College.
that was wow.
I started at Edward Waters College. I think I took some time off, maybe a year and a half.
Really?
Then I went to Edward Waters College. The whole time I was in college, I was pregnant.
Wow.
My children are actually 52 weeks apart. My 2 boys. My daughter was born when I was 14, My oldest son was born when I was 19, and who I call my baby boy was born when I was 20.
Oh wow, was born when you were
So
20.
yes,
Wow,
sir. But
wow. And so, I mean, just the tenacity that you have, in spite of what you've gone through, to continue to keep on going, with the kids, and whatever tragedy may have happened, just being able to just keep going. Like, who did you attribute that to? Was it God, or was it just your will to want to do better?
all of the
All of the
above,
above.
all of the above.
Okay.
And I got an auntie when I was young. I tell people this all the time. When I went to sleep at night, she was up. When I got up in the morning, no matter what time of morning I got up, she was
She was up.
already up
Yeah. So she was
praying.
your motivator.
She was my inspiration.
Okay. That's
Even though
good.
we had our times, we went through our struggles, she was still a motivation to me.
That's
She
good.
was still a
That's
motivation to
good.
me. She took care. She only had 2 children, but I think it was like 12 of us, 11 or 12 of us that been through her household over the years.
Wow. Wow. So during this time where how was your relationship with God during this time? Were you still going to church? What
Oh, I never stopped
you
going to
never stopped
church.
going to church?
I
Wow.
tell people this story all the time. We could have been way in Miami or Gainesville. I had to be the 14th in Phoenix.
Oh wow. Wow. Wow.
Sunday morning.
That's
I don't
good.
care
That's
where we
good.
was at Saturday
Y'all,
night.
yeah, y'all,
I
y'all
got to be
listening
in the
to that
house of the
now?
Lord.
I know
I
that's
got to
right.
be in the house of the Lord.
That's right.
We could be somewhere. Um, I didn't start smoking weed until I got in college.
Okay.
Until at least until I graduated. Yeah, I think I was in college because Jeremy, like I said, Jeremy was. It was after Jeremy was born. While I was pregnant with Jeremy, because my baby daddy didn't want me smoking cigarettes.
Cigarette. So you,
And he
so
said the weed was better than the cigarettes. So that's how they used to actually hold me down and blow me
and blow you.
guns.
Oh man.
So that's how I started.
Wow.
But
And you got the wrong gun and liked it.
it wasn't that because I used to always be preaching to them.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't that. So what I did once they started blowing me guns and I started smoking, I went back and I studied all the effects. I went back and studied the history of marijuana.
Okay,
I
all
studied
right.
all the medicinal
Okay,
purposes
so
of
you was one of them.
marijuana.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What happened was, like you say, the gun hit one of the gun. It wasn't that, but it helped with my anxiety.
Okay.
That was the first time I was able to like capture my thoughts.
Okay. Okay.
I wrote some of my best papers in college while I was high.
Wow. Wow.
While I was high.
So you start thinking, looking at the benefits versus, you know what I mean? And so you say,
I
hey,
tried to use it for the glory of God as much as I possibly could.
Okay.
Because basically, yes, sir. That's
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
everything that I do. I try to do for the glory
glory of God.
of God.
Yeah.
I try to do my best to do right by people. I try my best to love everybody. It don't matter who you are, where you come from. And Bishop just talked about, man, came in there, had the whole church. My granny bishop, they was, when I leave church, normally I go back to church because I go
Okay.
to my granny church
Okay.
after church.
All right.
And Sunday when we was there, they was talking about that I missed last Sunday because the smell. You try to love on everybody,
That's
but
right.
it's a small church, and then
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
that come in with older. So, but I hug you, and the children, my kids will tell you that I got a thing about smells. I got a very sensitive, but I don't discriminate.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't discriminate,
That's right.
and
That's right.
that's
That's
my
right.
purpose to love on people, even if they never actually, go into a church. Pastor Brown used to always say the only church some people gonna see, the only Bible some people gonna read is the life you live.
Right.
So I
That's
try to live my life according to the word as much as I possibly can.
And that's and I mean, our audio and our video got to match.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Yes,
so we got to do it. And I heard you say it about being church hurt.
Yes, sir.
And it's funny because y'all just had this conversation last night, and I shared with you before I asked you a couple of questions before we get out of here. I said this because I've been hearing this lately, about being hurt, and being church hurt. And so, in my conversation with those individuals about that is, so we got to understand that whether people in the church, whether they out of the church, what we got to learn is that, just because people in the church don't make them not be sick.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And so they need the same compassion as the people that's out of the church.
Amen.
It's just that the people in the church, we just expect more out of them.
Amen.
Like you don't go to the hospital and expect the doctor and the nurse to be sick.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes, sir.
Because they are the ones that's
Just
taking
take
care of
care of
us.
you.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we got to remember, even though we're not expecting them to be sick, we got to understand they get sick too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And so I think that, and so that's conversation that we got to have in the church. You know what I
Amen.
mean? Because a lot of people are walking away, and I was telling a group of guys on the prayer call last night about how we got to understand, like when we were coming up, no matter what people did, we still had morals and we had standards that they expected us to keep
Mm-hmm.
in spite of what they did.
In spite
You know
of
what I'm
what they
saying?
did.
They expect you to
You don't
say,
do what I
yes,
do, you
sir.
do what I say do.
Exactly. They expect you to say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, good morning, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Right? They had standards,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And so, and although they may have done anything, they still had an expectation of how we're supposed to be.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And so sometimes even in the church, right, the people got expectations, right? And so they just have to learn how, with those expectations, how to handle the people that fall below
Yes.
those
Yes.
expectations. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So we have to ask God to give us
Yes.
the wisdom to be able to handle the people that's coming
Yeah.
in,
Yes,
or
sir.
the people that's already in
Yes.
that don't live up to the expectations, not necessarily that we set, even the expectations of the word. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
And not mistreat them because right they're falling below that. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
And so we got to have patience with them too, because they just sometimes, because they came up in a rigid way.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? They came
Yes.
up in a rigid way. They came because, like my mentor used to say, the further we go back, the more truth you find,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so they was raised that way. You know what I mean? They
Mm-hmm.
was raised to, "Hey, don't sit around here looking in grown people's mouth." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so they adopted some of these things, right? And they just needed the Holy Spirit to show them how to win souls. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And
Yes.
how to win people over and
Yes.
not run them off. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I think that that's what all of us have to do. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
And all
Yes,
of us
sir.
have to understand that, at the end of the day, we all sick.
Yes.
You
We
know what I
are.
mean?
We are.
We all sick in different areas of our life, but we with the one that can make us well. We with
Yes.
the great physician. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so I just wanted to say that because I heard you say something about the church hurt. But listen, I wanna ask you this question. And I got to bring you back because
Yes,
we
sir.
got so much stuff we got to
Yes.
unpack. We got to so much. You don't say you got 7 kids and then we don't. You know what I'm saying, we don't go through
Yes,
that.
sir.
But what I want to ask you, if there is a young lady that was where you were, they're there right now, right? At your worst time in your life that you can remember. And they're there right now. What would you tell them?
The joy of the Lord is your strength. Be encouraged. Keep your head up. Find you a support group, somebody that knows the Lord and loves the Lord. No matter how much they want to help you, if there's no God in it, it's really not no real help.
Yeah,
It ain't no real help in it. You get somebody that can get a prayer through, an intercessor,
yeah,
somebody that communes and fellowship with God on a regular basis.
yeah,
It's all about God. Get in your word. If you don't understand the word, then find some books about the word.
yeah,
But ain't nothing better than the word. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in this world. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. He prepares the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Understand? Don't worry about the naysayers. You know what I'm saying? Stay, get out of get people out of your head. That was a difficult thing. Once it got in there, it was hard for
Harder to
me to
get out.
get it out.
Yeah,
Get people out of your head. Try to keep people out of your head, and you do that by getting you some positive mantras. I used to write. My children tell you I had motivational all over the mirrors.
wow,
I had them taped to the walls
right,
until I got by. I mean, even now I still do it. Um, and spend time with God. Ain't
wow,
ain't, ain't sweet Holy Spirit. He's a sweet Holy Spirit.
yeah, yeah. I know
So
that's right.
in the natural, again, go seek help. Seek help. If the first psychiatrist or the therapist ain't working for you, go somewhere else. You know, um, I know us as a people, we stray away from it, but my granny say, God created the doctors for a
That's
reason.
right. That's right.
He
Create the
cre- he create
therapist
he created
for
a
a reason.
therapist for a reason.
That's right. That's
So
right.
utilize it. Utilize it. Don't try. Don't keep it bottled up. Don't keep it bottled up. The more you bottle up, the worse it's gonna be when if you don't get no help.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's good. That's good. And listen, you know, you know, we're gonna put your information out there if you like. You know, once this air, we're gonna put you know, because somebody
yes
may say,
sir.
hey, they need to talk to you. They
Yes
might,
sir.
they might want to, your Instagram, whatever it is that you want to share. I believe that there's going to be some individuals that going to hear this podcast, see this podcast, and they're going to be encouraged, and they're going to want to talk. So,
Yes sir.
I think that you're more than able to help them.
Well, I would gladly go ahead and open my social medias back up. I am Heaven 2011 on Instagram. And I think TikTok too. I think I'm not sure. The kids or my sister set up all my social
Okay,
media.
okay,
So, but I am Angela Robinson on Facebook.
okay.
I am Angela Robinson on Facebook.
Okay. Hey, listen, man, I'm your host, Harry L. Williams, Purpose Over Pain podcast. Man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We thank God for you. Continue to tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your friend, tell your enemy. Let them know that Purpose Over Pain podcast is going down. We love you. God bless you.